Hello everybody again. So now is your opportunity to ask questions. I will invite back our presenters and panelists. Please send in through your questions through the chat function if you have them. Can I ask our presenters to log back on, please, so that we can start our discussion? Hi, Tony.
Hi, Martin.
Hello. Constantia.
Hello.
Hey. Okay, so and Matteo.
Yes.
Okay, so just while we're waiting for some questions to come in, obviously we've been looking a little bit into the future of our industry today, and I'd just like to go around each of you and get your view on what the opportunities might be for the future of rotomoulding. But also what our problems might be, you know, things that might hold the industry back. So if you can just have a think about those things, perhaps I can come to you first, Aloncorn. What do you think about the future of the rotomoulding industry? Has it got a good future? Are we going to see some massive changes, or is it going to continue more or less as it has been?
To be honest with you, not very good. I've seen blow molding come along for the past 5 years, and it's eating up rotational molding, especially water tank business. So I think that blow molding will take over more and more rotational molding, but I believe that there's still room for rotational molding to grow, especially for premium products, because actually rotational molded, especially water tanks, still demand a premium, but we need to innovate to put in more values, design, and features to compete with blow molding. Yes.
Okay. So Lee, what's your thoughts on the same subject?
Hi, Martin. Thanks for the question. Yeah, clearly I share the same concern as Aloncorn. Definitely, you know, rotomoulding and blow molding are kind of overlapping over the last 10 years. And I see the future of rotomoulding still at the brighter side. So in terms of future, let's talk about applications. We see rotomoulding will have a big picture, good future on the green energy. Let's say on the green subject. How do I express this? Let's say new energy, hydrogen tanks, for example, in automotive industry, for the tractors, for for passenger cars, for the agriculture vehicles, and I do see some potentials there. Also, on the other hand, we also see the future of more greener materials. As the industry, rotomoulding can process, you know, post-consumer plastics from other industries as well. So this will bring in more applications and more materials, and we see, yeah, still positively, yeah. I holding a positive attitude on rotomoulding. Yeah. Thank you.
That's good. What about you, Matteo? Yeah. Matteo?
Yes, I have a point of view a little different. I think that the rotomoulding in the next future will be again part of the of this world. Obviously, all together, we need to change a little the way to think at the rotomoulding. We need to find different application. We need to find different product. We need to find something that, and thank you to the technology, that in different topic could be on the material, on the tools, on the machine, and so on, will help us to move in the future. I think that recently, in the last 3 years, even if we have a terrible time with the COVID, I think that the people start to think a little more. And I'm having day by day customers that are proposing something that I will find very interesting. Not like in the past, always the same. Let me say, not just a tank or just a bubble or just a part not complex, but the complexity is growing a lot. We are probably moving on new target, and I think that as I described in part of my presentation, just the cooperation between machine production, rotomolder, tool maker, material supplier, and designer, we can extend the perimeter of the rotomolding. So this is what I think, and I suppose that will be.
Very positive. Good. What about you, Tony?
Yes, always positive.
Tony, what is your opinion?
Actually, I'm more along the line of Matteo as well, and they're much along the thoughts that I was having. Blow molding can certainly take over a number of industries that we do have, particularly with the what I call the boring moldings, things between 100 litres to maybe up to 10,000 litres in a very simple molding. The future of rotational molding is really automation of equipment, is of design of materials, particularly in foaming, particularly in surface finish, and also design of products, more bespoke products, things that we're making 5,000-10,000 parts and then move on to a new one. No one's going to make a blow molding mold that will only last 5,000 parts and then move on, because it can cost $1 million to make a mold, or many millions of dollars to make a mold of that size, and to make 10,000 parts is financially unviable. So really we need to look at design, look at materials, look at machinery, make the funky part that no one can make by blow molding. Blow molding can't make undercuts, it can't make handles, proper handles, can't make a whole lot of things. So we need to really make sure that the parts we're making, parts we're designing, and we're offering to the market are things that can't be overtaken by blow molding or injection molding or compression molding or anything along those lines. So I see it's still very bright. There's a lot of future. The colors that we can achieve, we can make 5 colors of one part and then move on. Blow molding certainly can't do that. They have to run many hundreds or thousands of parts into one material, one color, one design, period. So bespoke molding is where we need to be.
Okay, thank you. Constantia, do you think that product decoration can have a role in the future of rotomolding and taking rotomolding forward to new levels?
Yes, I do agree, because I do see it. I agree with Steven mentioning quality of everything that concerns the process to maintain the standards and then be able to reach to new markets like Matteo mentioned. So we do get as well very interesting, very surprising requests for products that are traditionally made. And this is an opportunity, another opportunity, that are traditionally made by other materials. So nothing to do with rotomolding, can be more organic materials, for example, or more metals, as I mentioned. So there is a great opportunity there when automation comes in, and all the design perspective that we give as a company or other similar companies like ours, then the potential is huge. And the key thing for that, I think, is to raise and create awareness in parts that is not there yet. And maybe in markets like designers, a lot of designers are getting involved in all kinds of processes. And that's something that we're trying to do a lot in the UK, to bring more creators in this and let people know what's going on and the potential that brings. So there is a bit of work to be done in the background, but the potential of the technology as is, I think it's great.
Good. And Poe, do you have an opinion on where you think rotomoulding is going? Hello, did you hear me, Poe?
Yes, Martin.
Yeah.
Basically, I do agree with what my colleague Dr. Lei and Kun Alokron and even Tony talking just now. Rotomoulding is a very unique kind of plastic process which cannot easily replaced by injection process or blow molding, because you couldn't imagine what kind of tonnage or size of injection machine you need to produce such a for example, for a very big tank. Of course, we also looking in a very niche market in engine high performance engine plastic like PA6 or PA11. It's still a very niche market in this in this industry. Yeah. So for myself, I still see a very bright future for this automotive.
Okay, thank you. So another view on the same thing is that obviously rotomoulding has been tied to mainly to PE since its inception many years ago. There are a lot of other materials now on the market which are not really being widely used. Do you think that automation and electrically heated tools such as Vertigo Smart Machine or other robot machines that are around is going to change that? And do you think that will accelerate the take-up of new materials and thereby expand the market that's available to rotomoulding? Lee, again, would you like to comment on that?
Oh, yes, Martin. Yes, I do believe with the help of the machines like a smart machine from Persico, they actually open another door for in rotomoulding industry. Some materials we were struggling to process and now become possible. And new materials, some material we never thought about could be rotomolded. Now we are considering it. Yes, definitely. New materials, new application. Yeah, we do have a lot of project, under the development at this stage. I can probably mention in the polyamide, my colleague PG just mentioned. So let's take polyamide, for example. We developed a PA6 rotomoldable powder version, not the liquid PA6 the industry have been using. It's a very unique development. And with the help of the smart machine, now we have a few, customers can constantly make a rotomolded PA6 product in Europe. Yeah, that's I see that's a good case, for us. Now, based on the new technique, we can introduce more material into the industry, as a raw material supplier. Thank you, Marty.
Okay, Aloncorn, do you agree?
Oh yeah, definitely. We have a smart machine in our lab, and we can testify that it definitely opened up a lot of a window on opportunity for new materials, for sure.
Okay, Matteo, do you see Persico being able to push the technology a lot further than you have gone already in the future to help with new materials?
Yes, I can only say what happened recently. We have a lot of customers approaching us in order to know what the new technology, direct tool heated with electricity, with the possibility to control totally the process, to know perfectly what happened in the tool, inside, outside, in the material inside. These big advantages extend a lot the range of the product. And in my experience is that they approach us and they try to rotomold something that probably in the past was not possible. So from this point of view, this is an incredible opportunity, is an incredible chance that we have, working very close with the material supplier we can really find the right solution for the right application. And I think that honestly, we are just at the beginning. I hope that this way will increase day by day, because we are finding and we found big opportunity that the RotoMoulding can supply.
Okay, Tony, do you think that release agent technology will be able to push forward to provide us the right solution for all these new materials?
I would, yes, in a word, yes. We're quite fortunate within Chemtrend. Actually, we've got a number of R&D facilities placed around the world, large ones in China and in our main one in the US, and we've got teams dedicated to R&D technology, not only in thermoplastics, rotational moulding, but in the other areas, and we certainly can bring all of those together. Just going back to your previous question though, with using different materials, the main thing that we need to do is get all of the molders out there to actually, one, hire the right person, not just someone who can load material into a machine, push a button and let it go to some preconceived recipe. We need temperature control units. We need people to be able to read, interpret and use internal air temperature measurements, so that we can actually use these different resins that in a lot of cases have a very fine, very defined operating window. So we need to make sure that our machine suppliers and others actually develop more equipment. I hate to use the names, although the old Rotalog, Temp Logger, the 293K, all those kind of machines to allow people to hit the right sweet spot on all the materials. But yeah, we'll keep up with the release agents, I have no doubt.
Okay, Constantia, has the concept of electrically heated tools changed the way you're looking at decorating rotomolded products?
Well, we have seen a lot of people, depending on the numbers, of course, they produce and the requests that they are getting in, and the vision they have about their business, they turn to automation. And that, of course, includes the application of the coatings that we are offering. So either they have already the know-how, some of them, or others, they will go to another company to develop that, customize it together. So, and we are involved from the beginning by setting with them the specs of the liquid parts, and in order to come up with a full proposal. But it's always a challenge. But if you have the technical know-how, you can always adapt all these technologies to include any new materials that you like, in whether this is a compound or a composite that you want to do, and at the same time integrate products of such as coatings, prints, decorations, etc. It is just if you have the basis, then you can always adapt. And this has been proven in other industries as well that are moving much faster than plastics. I come from FMCG, and once you have the basic knowledge of the technologies that you want to absorb, then you can make the changes fairly quickly and at very high quality standards.
Okay, so it looks as if our panelists think that despite competition from blow molding on some of our basic products, that our industry of rotomolding has a very bright future going forwards. We've just got one question come in here. Would you like to answer that, Paul or Lee? I saw most rotomolding parts are using defined cut. I saw one particular water tank with a sort of granite surface. There are bits of black, white, brown at its surface. How can this be done in rotomolding? It's something that's been done for a long, long while. Would you like to explain, Lee?
Yes, thanks, Martin. Yes, so in order to achieve this granite surface, basically we have a mixture of different color powder before we put the material into the RotoMoulding process. So we understand during the RotoMoulding process, this different color powder will, lay down evenly. So the unique feature of rotational molding will create the granite surface from different colors. So this is a standard practice in our industry. Yeah. So we do have quite a few different. We internally we call spa mix or motor effect available. Yeah, please feel free to go to our website or drop me an email, and we will be able to share more information with you. Thanks.
Okay, Aloncorn, do SCG find this type of powder very popular, the granites and special effects?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, in Thailand we have a lot of granite water tanks. It's a common practice.
Okay, so I think we're probably coming to. Oh, hang on, one more question here. A little bit confused with that question, but I think they're talking about in-mold foaming, so PE foaming, which obviously is a PE material and can be used in conjunction with RotoMoulding. Would someone like to answer that?
I'm not sure. Lei, do we have experience that our foam material can be laminated with rubber?
Yes, the foam material in our presentation are basically polyethylene foam. So in our experience, it works perfect, PE with PE foam. And this polyethylene foam is basically, we created a foam reaction during the rotational molding process. So I'm not sure, how you intend to mix it with rubber. I guess, the answer of your question is at this stage, we definitely confirm it works with PE to PE foam. In terms of with rubber, we need a bit more clarification from you. Yeah, but again, thanks for the question. Feel free to drop us email. We can discuss a bit more. Thanks.
Okay, Matteo, here's a question for you.
Yes.
What is the economic feasibility of smart electric ovens compared to gas-fired ovens once you get to using large diameters?
Okay, this is a fantastic question. Not so easy to give an answer about this. What I can confirm is that the Smart 2.8 that I introduced and we discussed is dedicated to specified product that we found and that we fix on it. Are available bigger machine, bigger plate where is possible to fix very large tool or a mix of different one on the same. What is absolutely necessary to clarify that the economic condition that we can find using a smart or a direct heated tool is incredible. If you can imagine in traditional production what happened during the opening of the oven, the dispersion of the heating, what happened that in the oven you have to heat everything about the tool, not only the aluminium that is the most important part, where is necessary to concentrate the heating, and where the electric component are placed in order to transfer the heating, the energy for the transformation of the material. So is not comparable the advantages. Obviously are able, and we are able to evaluate project after project which is the best and the right range of reduction of energy that is necessary to concentrate. This is just one aspect of the advantages that the electric ovens and tools can introduce. The other big advantages is, for example, the possibility to have a full process control, and this will help to have a equal thickness everywhere, or a different thickness due to product requirement, where is necessary in effect to have a concentration or less.
Yeah, so the smart machine, the electrically heated tools are a lot more efficient in kilowatt use, so in energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that, the economics of which will depend on the difference between the cost of electric and the cost of the fuel that you're using at the moment, whether that be oil or be gas for your ovens. But the wastage is considerably less. So from a green environmental point of view, it is a much better process for the electric molds than it is with gas or oil. Okay, another question for Matteo. PU pouring machine.
What's this?
Okay, no, I mean, smart machine is not the same as a normal PU machine, although I'm sure that a smart machine could be used for PU molding. What do you think, Matteo?
No, it's two different application. I think that a smart machine is dedicated for rotomolding process, and can achieve the best of the rotomolding process. Let me say, could be, but this is something that I would like to share and to verify. Could be that let me say, the structure of the machine can be used for other application. Until now, this is not something that we evaluate, and we have no input.
Okay, here's another question for you, Matteo.
Yeah.
What material is being used for the hydrogen storage tank liners?
Okay, I can say, and I can answer this question in one way. The question could be, which kind of material we use in our test to produce hydrogen tanks? I have to say polyethylene, PA11, PA12, nylon liquid, and some other that at the moment I cannot say, again, in one layer or in multiple layers.
Okay. Okay, so I think you've already touched on this subject of on-call. Would you like to answer that question?
No, I think that's already said. Yeah.
So basically, you think that blow molding will affect this? Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say that we need to innovate to escape from blow molding, to need to something into design and features.
Okay, so did I see another question for Persico there? Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the potential saving in percentage?
Okay. On this question, it's very easy to say 20, 30, 50, 60. There are different products, there are different material use, there are different applications, and the saving that is possible to achieve using smart technology could be different. What I like, and just to put in the line, just to clarify, is that absolutely there is a saving in terms of energy necessary and used to transform the product. There is a saving absolutely in what we say in reduction or better distribution of the material inside the product. This is a big part of the saving that is possible to have. But in the same time, we reduce a lot having the full and control process the scrap part. This is another big advantages. And if we move on the totally or partial automation, you can imagine what is the saving of the human effort during the process. We study a lot this situation, and we are more than happy when a customer approach us to give them the full and completely information about what the smart technology can save. We are not, we cannot promise just a number, but with some software simulation, we are able to give the full and complete information about the saving in the different aspect that the smart technology can give our customers.
Okay. Is Matrix Material is available in India? Well, Lee, would you like to say how they contact you in India?
Yeah,
Yes,
please ask.
yes, we are. And please drop us an email, and we will forward our sales managers' details in India.
There's a question for you, Constantia.
Yes, the inkjet printers, thanks for the question. The inkjet printers, they are using, as the word says, an ink, and usually the amount of solids that go through that is very low. So at the moment, the technology of inkjet printing cannot accommodate the paints that are used in the rotomolding industry and the coatings, because of the high level of solids in the dispersions that these paints have, that we manufacture for thermoplastics, and all these fine nozzles, they cannot be used as they are. Having said that, it's not something, it would be a project, you know, to be looked potentially into the future, if it comes to that. But as the technology stance of inkjet or digital printing, it is not ready to accommodate quickly something like that. Off the shelf, basically.
I think you mentioned this in a later slide, but obviously a lot of the applications for your graphics could experience extreme UV. Will they stand up against that? They are UV protected?
Yeah, the graphics that we are that they are created with our systems, they have been out there now in various conditions across the globe for about a decade. So they have been tested thoroughly by some customers, depending on what their customers wanted to achieve. So UV resistance, weathering has all been tested and verified, depending on the requirements of its product. So we are having products sitting in for many years now in Morocco, as I mentioned, Turkey, after they've done their tests, sun exposure. Marine industry have buoys that are sitting in the sea between UK and Dubai for years now, and you know that there is a maintenance for those, so they are being visited and reviewed every time, and we are in contact with the customers to verify the integrity. So it's yes, it is it has the protection of UV predominantly through the high quality raw materials that we are using, so that you don't need necessary, you know, it's not necessary to use any extra coatings and complicate the application process.
Okay, so thank you. Is pinhole correlated to mold life cycle? Do older molds produce more pinholes in spite of material quality? Perhaps Tony, you could talk about that.
The answer is no. We'll bring this back on track. The answer is no. It's pretty simple. There's three, as I said in my presentation, there's three main reasons why you get pinholes, and they are the powder quality, the cook cycle, and in very rare but sometimes seen. I've been in RotoMoulding over 20 years. I've only seen excess mold release in a very small handful of processes, but that's the third. Old molds, no. You can, in an old cast aluminium mold, have some porosity in the mold, which allows air to come back through during cooling, but they're not pinholes. They'll actually be a blowhole that'll go through the whole thickness of the part, and you'll get a bubble form on the inside, but that's the only thing you'll get with an old mold.
Yeah. Okay, so how to reduce pinholes, small to medium from mold surface if we're using normal silicone release agents? I think the answer to that is don't use them, use proper one. But Tony, you again.
Okay, if you talk about silicone release agents as in a silicone oil, there's your first problem. You basically have contamination and a lot of issues there. To reduce pinholes, depending on what the reason is. If the reason is that you're not cooking it long enough, guess what? You're going to have to cook it a little bit longer. You need to put more energy, time and energy into the whole equation there. If it's because your powder doesn't have enough fines in it to lay up and form a good surface in the first instance, you'll need to talk to your powder supplier about the powder size distribution and or the dry flow. And if you're using too much, the wrong mold release, you need to back that off. You can, in an instant, use something like our flow promoter product to improve the surface, as per the images that I showed, that will attract the fines to those particular troubled areas earlier, which lay up and give you a good surface definition straight away. But they're the only things that you can really do.
Yeah, I mean, the traditional silicone oil release agents are a particular problem with this, I think. It's, yeah. Yeah, so I think we've already mentioned that, you know, on larger oil tanks at the moment, then RotoMoulding still has the advantage, whereas blow molding is coming in with the smaller to medium-sized tanks. Do we have any other questions? Is there any possibility to make a PE foam to get a property for insulating a cooler box? Lee, would you like to just answer that?
Oh, yes, thanks, Martin. So the question is a possibility to make a PE foam get a property as. So I take the question is, can we mold polyethylene foam on its own? So at this stage, we are introduce the PE foam as a second layer. So we create a skin foam or skin structure. So if we only rotomold polyethylene foam on its own, we may have some surface imperfection, like a pinholes, or it's even worse than pinholes. So also the PE foam will tend to interact with the mold. So I guess that's not a recommended way to process PE foam on its own.
Sorry, you could use PE foam as an insulator between two layers of ordinary PE in a cooler box, but the insulation value would probably be considerably less than you would get with polyurethane foam. Is that correct?
Oh, yes. Sorry, Martin. I interpreted in a totally wrong way. My apology. Yes, Martin, okay. You're right. Polyethylene foam, in terms of insulation properties, that's not as good as polyurethane foam or even some polystyrene foam people are currently using.
Okay. So, any other questions?
Okay, that's all the questions we have, Martin. Thank you very much. Like to give final remarks from all the speakers. Yeah.
Okay, so would anybody like to make a final remark about our proceedings today? Starting with you, Tony.
It was great to be part of this. I'd just like to go slightly back to an answer I gave a little while ago, Martin, when you mentioned will mold releases keep up with the growing range of resins that are used in rotational molding? The answer is actually I haven't seen a resin so far that our customers haven't been able to mold with our releases so far, whether it's polycarbonate or whether it's PVC or whether it's crosslink, all the other options, nylons and so forth. I dare say if new things come along that are completely more sticky, then we'll go back there. But I see the future of rotational molding still being bright. We have to continue to innovate as the market goes ahead. The decades of agricultural, very basic machines and thought patterns, we have to leave them behind and look to new and better ways of doing things.
Okay, thank you. And thank you for presenting today, Tony. A long call.
My pleasure.
Okay,
well, final remark?
Thank you very much for having me today. I didn't really contribute anything technical, but next time I promise I'll come something cool. Thank you.
Right. Okay, Constantia.
Thank you as well very much for the opportunity to present first time in this forum. And we are looking forward to the ongoing work and hopefully a live session, you know, face to face. But if not, again, like that, I'm happy to contribute and talk to you people again. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Matteo?
Yes, thank you very much for the opportunity today. We hope in the future we need to think about the future, the innovation. We have to go ahead in this direction, and hope to see you soon.
Poe, if you have some closing remarks.
Okay, on behalf of Matrix Polymer, many thanks again to the organizer for organizing such a meaningful event. Enlightened us in many areas of our rotomolding industry. Of course, I'm also learning a lot of new knowledge from this seminar. To the audience, if you found any interesting topic which you would like to discuss further with us, do draw an email, and we're very happy to entertain you. Yep. And lastly, I hope there's a day when every one of us can meet each other in person. Yeah. And stay safe and healthy. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Lee, your closing remarks.
Thank you, guys. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm really looking forward in the next round of conference with you. Like PG mentioned, love to do a face-to-face next time. Thank you very much.
Okay. So thank you very much for presenting and for helping us put this program together. And thank you very much to all our sponsors that have enabled us to offer this opportunity to the audience free of charge. Piram, do you have any closing remarks?
Yes, first of all, thank you to all the speakers and also all the participants for joining this session today. And I know this is online, but it still looks like very effective. I'm hoping you learned something useful. Martin, very special thanks to you. Okay, it happened. Okay, we talked a few months ago and we made it a good turnout, and all the participant questions and the topics are very relevant and useful for the industry. What I'm going to do is that there will be email from me to all the audience. They will receive all the speakers' contacts and their email address, so that the participant communicate with you directly also if there are any further questions you have. Okay, with that note, I thank you all the sponsors. Without you, not possible to make it happen. I just want to name one more time the names: Matrix, Persico, SCG, Lysis, Chemtrend, Solution Creation. Thank you very much for being part of this program only today. And I just wanted to, once again, thanks a lot. Okay. With that note, we close the session. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Yeah. Bye bye for now. Yeah.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Thank you all. Yeah. Okay.
Bye.
Thanks, Alan Con. It's really touching. I'm really happy that you made it today. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Yeah?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Peter.
Okay. Okay, we keep in touch. Thank you very much. Thanks, Martin. Talk again. Cheers.
Bye.